Hey Bobcats!
I'm Leah Ertel, your opinion editor.
And I'm Juliette D'Eliseo, your sports editor.
And today we are going to be going over Disney bombs.
The real bad ones, the recent ones, the really bad ones.
Disney's downfall.
Yeah, we believe that Disney's on its way to death, so...
Without further ado, let's get started.
Let's just get started. So, in the summer of 2023, Disney lost a whopping total of $900 million in the course of all movies released.
And they released a lot of movies.
That is insane. Like, how are they not in debt? How are they not dead?
They are, I'm sure. Disney
they
stocks
have
have gone down, people, because we have Disney stocks and invested in it, because I have a family who work in part of Disney for their whole lives, and they're like, oh yeah, it's kind of tanking at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's start off with one of the not so bad ones, but still a bad one. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, 2023, a loss of 56 million. I watched this movie. Did you watch this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We could put our opinions out now. Personally, this movie, the only good parts of it was in the very beginning of the movie. Like, the first 15 minutes were the best parts because it was the old Indiana Jones,
Yeah.
right? So they put so much CGI on his face and they spent so much money on that scene.
To make him look younger. 'Cause
right.
Harrison Ford's like, I don't know,
He's
80.
old as... Anyway, sorry. He's old, so he's not exactly to his prime of being an action character.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm more than certain they made him run and, like, do, like, stunts and things. Like, I don't know how he did that, but he did. But, yeah, I do not believe it was a very smart decision to do another Indiana Jones, because I felt like the last movie... Did it tank?
The Crystal
Skull?
Yo, yeah.
Yeah, that one
worse
tanked
than
too.
this one, I think.
The thing is like, why would they make another one if the last one tanked as well? I mean, they had, what's her name? Kate Blanchett. They got all these great actors, and it still freaking bombed. And I don't know how that happened, but it did. But my question is, why would they make another one with a worse plot about time travel? Like,
yeah.
I don't know why, but Hollywood right now is on a time travel run, and I don't know why. It's very weird, and I don't like it.
Yeah. I think Hollywood always, like, makes something good and turns it bad, you know? Like, if one movie does really good, they're like, oh, well, we're going to keep trying to make more money off of it. That's why there's sequels and prequels and stuff. But I think, honestly, the best Indiana Jones is probably, like, either the first one.
The first one was great.
Second one was okay.
Too much voodoo magic for me.
Yeah, but then just the rest is like too much, you know? Stop.
I like the third one though.
The third one's okay.
The third one's good. I like The Last Crusade.
That's a good. Oh yeah, that's The Last Crusade. The first, second, and third.
With his dad.
Yeah,
that was
that
great.
one. That was the first one.
That was a great one.
1 through 3 is good. It should have stopped because then the fourth and fifth, it just is too long, drawn out. You know.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I get the idea for the last, like the Dial of Destiny, to like sum up and end officially the Indiana Jones series. Just because it's like he's on retirement, he's done, it's his last thing. Because they didn't really do that in the fourth and the third one. But, yeah, it's just like, even if you get a bunch of good actors and stuff, they're only as good and strong as the script and the story. You know?
I agree. And, this does have a spoiler, but at the very end, spoiler warning, he wants to stay in the past. Which, I mean, I kind of understand because he's a historian, but on the other hand, it's, like, kind of selfish because he has all these people that love him and, like, I don't know.
Can learn from him.
Right,
know?
And I'm just like, I don't like that ending. Like, I don't like that. That doesn't seem very Indiana Jones. That's, like, out of character.
It seems very Harrison Fordy.
Yeah,
because he wanted to be killed in the first Star Wars.
Yeah, facts. I don't know. It's just very not in character because Indiana Jones, he's, like, out to, like, help people and become adventurous, but now he's just like, I want to stay in the past and die in the past. Like, no, like that's not his character.
Become a part of history,
right?
Which is kind of, I see that. Though.
I guess in character, but also at the same time, it's not. And I'm just like, he's out of character. I don't like that.
What's crazy is how just the first movie sparked a whole literally like renaissance of people wanting to be architects. Like so many people went into that business. It's not like a huge money-making business, but it's like it's an interesting if you dig it literally.
Yeah,
you like it,
literally. Yeah,
It's I still say the whole series is worth a watch.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would say the first 3.
Yeah,
and then you make your decision.
Crystal
Skull. Like there are some parts of Crystal Skull that are redeemable. Like they are okay, but
watch like it once, and then you can watch the first 3 like all the time.
Yeah, for sure. I think I've seen Crystal Skull in like 3 years.
I didn't even finish it.
It's 3 years since I've seen that movie. I would say it's okay on the scale of 1 to 10. It's like a 5.
Yeah.
Like it's watchable, but it's not like I'll go back and watch Crystal Skull.
It's still Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. This one's really, really bad.
The Marvels.
The Marvels. Okay,
2023, and it lost 197 million. Quite a big bomb for Marvel.
Yeah, from what I've read, it's the worst bomb Marvel has ever had in the history of Marvel, and that it kind of sucks because it's like a woman empowerment movie.
Yeah,
and it's like 3
Brie
women.
Larson.
Yeah, it's like 3 women. Like, you know what? I hate pushing the narrative of that stuff. Like, it's gotta just be like simple and not be like, yeah, women empowerment. Like saying it as a woman, saying it as a woman, I feel like it negates the idea kind of because if people are like, I don't like the push of that narrative, and then here we are making all these movies. Like, it's the same thing with LGBTQ pushing stuff. It's like kind of the same thing with that.
I agree. They just put it in everything. You know?
They put it in everything because it's like it's
a thing.
It's a huge problem right now. So everyone's like, oh yeah, we got to make sure that they're included. But
it doesn't need to be included in everything, especially if it's like a whole storyline based around that. Like if it's about that, okay.
Okay, great, yeah.
But like if you just have to put it in somewhere, it just seems like it's forced.
It's forced, yeah.
And it's just like it's unnecessary. You know,
and we're not saying we don't support it. We're saying like it's overused.
Yes.
To the certain point where it's like pushed. We're like, oh, here's another one. You know what I mean? Mm. So, I am a Marvel fan, and I still have not watched this movie because of how bad it dropped.
I don't want to
ruin my love for Marvel. So, I mean, I loved Captain Marvel. The first Captain Marvel movie was great. I love that movie. It was my favorite movie for a very long time. Until I watched Haunted Mansion. But, which we'll move on to in a minute. But, that movie is great. I don't know why it bombed, but it did. Anyway, but Captain Marvel was such a great movie because it had everything everyone wanted. It had a great hero. It had a villain. It had a twist. It had another villain that was not really that you think was the villain. It's like, it's a very
women empowered.
Women empowerment. It's got everything in it, but not to an overload where you're just like, ugh, not again.
They should have stuck with just that instead of keep reaching. And
see, that would be the perfect action movie with women empowerment is Captain Marvel, the original.
Yes.
That is a great example of women empowerment. Like, I love that movie so much. And I also love Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. That is a great movie. It has women empowerment, even though she's a woman or villain. It doesn't matter. She's a great actress. I love Elizabeth Olsen. She's great. But that's another example of women empowerment that is used correctly. So
WandaVision.
That one
did good.
Those are what's used correctly. See, like I feel like where it's like an overload, it's just like people don't want to watch that because it's just like too much. It's just like women empowerment.
You just need a strong story,
right?
I think what we're talking about, like movies are so busy on working with CGI and just making like the aesthetic. Oh, that's what So Wish. That's another one that's upcoming Disney movie, 2023, lost 100 and...
Yeah, it released already, right?
Yeah, it just released. 123 million it lost.
That's crazy.
And they say this one bombed, but it's like, it's not bad, but it's like the...
Did you watch it?
No.
Oh, yeah, I didn't either.
But the aesthetic of it is very pretty. But the thing is, Disney movies right now, they're trying to like, I think, because they based it off of like Into the Spider-Verse. they're trying to do the different like textures and themes. They're focusing too much on like the visual aspect of it to make it aesthetically
instead of
pleasing.
the storyline.
Yeah, like the animation's pretty, it's great, like that's pretty, but the storyline is what's lacking. And I know
it's so bad,
but that's what makes a Disney movie. Like Finding Nemo, for instance, like the story.
That is a great story. I mean, the animation might not be perfect, but I think
it's the story that carries the movie.
Yes, I agree.
Snow White, like all the freaking like princess movies and all the previous Disney movies and the Renaissance, they had a story. Aristocats, cute freaking aesthetic.
The animation does not have to
all
be
hand drawn.
Yeah,
no, but the story.
Yeah,
that's what makes Disney movies. That's what people fall in love. They have character, like what do you call it? You can connect with the character development, but also it's the adventure that they go on, the way you can relate to them, the way you wish to be them. You don't wish to be the aesthetic, you know?
Right, no. You don't wish to be the visuals in a movie. Like, it's, you gotta have the storyline. If you don't have the storyline, then you don't have a movie. That's crazy. But, like, I understand where they're coming from. Like, most kids, like toddlers, for example, they don't really, are not literally listening to the movie.
No.
You know, because I'll give an example, a personal anecdote. But when I was younger, I would watch these movies, and I had no idea what was going on. I was just watching the movie.
Me too.
And I would just watch the animation, because I thought the animation was great, and I thought it was awesome. Yeah. And then I rewatched the movie, and I'm like, oh, that's what this is about.
That is me so much. Let me see. It was with freaking All Dogs Go to Heaven. Have you ever seen that one?
Yes.
Yeah. I used to watch it and be like, oh, it's cute. And then I never understood why the girl was crying at the end with the dog, whatever. And then when I actually was old enough to watch it and understand the story, I'm like, oh my god, this is dark.
No. Yeah.
It was so sad.
I think nowadays they're more appealing to the younger kids who are just watching for the visuals and not the actual story. Because I feel like they don't realize that there are just like random college kids that want to watch Moana for no reason because they feel nostalgic or something.
Call it childhood.
And you can't do that with Wish because there's no storyline to be nostalgic for except the visuals. Visuals. God, I can't speak today. But I think that's where Disney's going. They're going more towards the younger group because for some reason, God knows what, but they are, and I don't like it.
Even Encanto was kind of like on the fence of it.
It was on the fence. I thought it was a good story, but also, on the other hand, music was good.
Soundtrack was good.
Yeah. But I feel like there's a side to it that's like...
It just didn't hit the mark, you know?
Yeah, it's there, but not quite. Like,
yeah. Almost.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I liked Encanto, but I had to give it a second watch for me to actually like it. Yeah. Like, the first time I watched it, I was like,
kind of disappointed.
Yeah, but then I watched it the second time. I was like, okay, not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to Marvel, The Eternals I watched with one of my friends in the movie theater. I remember thinking that, oh, this is going to be a great movie. It's going to be great because it's just a bunch of new heroes, but it was actually really bad. And I was very
Angelina Jolie.
I know. I was so excited to go see her, but I was just very disappointed in the story because of how reused and God, I can't think of words today.
Overdone
and predictable it was.
Oh.
Because I feel like every single person had their own ability, and it's kind of like Avengers all over again, but older. I don't know. I just thought it was like very reused and predictable. And, yeah, and that one bombed too. And that was in 2021.
We could see why.
Oh yeah, it was not good. I feel like it was just like a random filler movie that they didn't know what to do with. So they just were like, okay, let's make an Eternals movie because why not? That's literally why they made that movie. Like,
that's the reason. Why not?
Yeah, because no one talks about it ever. No one talks about the Eternals. You want to know why? Because it was bad. Anyway, moving on. Like I mentioned earlier, Haunted Mansion. I loved this movie, but it lost $100 million for some whack reason. I'd love to know why because I loved it.
Danny DeVito.
I know. Did you watch
Haddish?
Oh my god,
it's so funny.
I could go on and on about this movie.
Owen Wilson.
For ages. I could go on and on for years about this movie because I loved it so much. It is my favorite movie ever. And I would love to know why.
More than Nightmare Before Christmas?
No.
Okay.
But like...
About to say.
That I don't even associate with anything right now because it's just like, nothing can beat that movie. So we're just saying...
Mansion?
No!
Nightmare
Before Christmas. That movie I will go on and on forever. But Haunted Mansion is my favorite movie. Love that movie.
It's cute. It's funny. I mean, it's worth a watch.
It is.
Like, some people really liked it and some people really didn't like it, you know? I think the gung-ho, like, people who love the Haunted Mansion ride at Disney were pleased. Because, I mean, I like the fact how they turned, like, the whole ride into a movie.
I know, it was great.
Like, with the seats falling down, the stairs.
I think they did a great job.
Wasn't Jared Leto in it, too?
Yeah,
as the bad guy?
he was the Hatbox Ghost.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a great job of incorporating all of the aspects of the ride into the movie. And I thought making the Hatbox Ghost the villain was a great idea. And I thought that the main characters all had, like... See, okay, there's always a formula with Disney movies. There's, like, every character has their own, like, little issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every character has a dilemma. And they did that with Haunted Mansion. They made the main character, he lost his wife. The lady lost her husband. The kid is sad because he lost his father. Like, all these are like, oh, I lost somebody. Yeah. Fortune teller lady, she lost her mother.
Yeah.
Father. She lost her father. I think she lost her dad. Father. She lost her dad. Like, everybody lost somebody in the movie. And I think that translates perfectly to Haunted Mansion. Because it's about ghosts. It's about people who have died and their spirits are left at the house. And I think the way they did it was very good. That's all I have to say. Because it was just like, Disney always has some way of incorporating what is the main topic into the movie, into what the main character's issues are. So I think they do that really well.
But yeah, no, I agree with everything you said. I think the, what would you say was like the driving factor of
I forgot to mention this. At the very end, the Hatbox Ghost tries to lure the kid. The main character, the Hatbox Ghost, who's the villain of the story, tries to get two people to harm themselves and accept death. I'm trying to school appropriate here.
Yeah. Lead him into
the underworld.
Unexpected passing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. And I think Disney doesn't normally do that. Like, they don't really mention that, and I feel like that they do that in a very good way of helping kids, I guess, who are struggling, who are watching that movie, to help them realize that there are people that care about them, and there are people that aren't gonna just throw them away for nothing, and they're here for a reason. And yes,
exactly.
everyone's
purpose.
Yes, everyone has lost someone. There has been hardships in everyone's lives, but that does not mean that you take your own life to achieve whatever you lost, or to get back whatever you lost.
You're never given something too hard to handle, like too heavy that you can't handle it, but not too light, you know? There's a reason you gotta go through it, but you're gonna be able to get over it.
Mm-hmm.
You might not think so at the moment, or as far as you can see in the future, but it's like you'll be able to get over it.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking like the weak, easy way out, you know?
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't want to say it's selfish.
It is selfish.
I don't want to say that, because everyone has hardships, and I can understand that too, sir. Let's move on from Haunted Mansion, because that's just depressing.
It's a good movie. It's an uplifting movie.
Yeah, it is.
It's rooted in sadness.
But anyway, like I was saying, Disney did a really good job of introducing that topic and making it positive in the end.
That's what Disney's known for, you know, taking like a tragedy and stuff, but like making it good, like Bambi, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that one's fun.
Even though, there's like very violent things that happen in the movie, and I'm pretty sure most kids won't understand that till you're older.
Till I watched it, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, right. And you can never understand why.
It makes a bad thing turn into a good thing, right? You know, it teaches you how, when you, like any kids who like have lost a parent, you know, it teaches how you have to grow up fast and like learn to faster, adapt quicker than many other kids do, but then you're able to, you know, carry on. So they all teach lessons, and that's what I think Disney and even Marvel is really lacking, because the movie
right now,
movies are the best when they actually teach you something. They make you feel something. They have a purpose.
Yeah, because I cried really bad on that movie.
Yeah,
but it's fine. Personally, I really love that movie. It's just really good. Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
This is a tragedy. I will see. This is how we switch gears. So we're gonna go into from sad to angry. Anyway,
Snow White. This one delayed production because it got so much hate and controversy. But now it's apparently picking up and will be released in like the 2024-2025 year.
I have very strong opinions about this.
I do too.
You'd like to go first?
You go first.
Oh God. Okay. There is a little actress. You know, her name's Rachel. And
Rachel what?
Zegler.
She just appeared in the
Hunger Games,
which
I thought was a great movie.
Which is not a bomb.
No, that was
really
an amazing movie. We'll go into that later. But, okay. So, what I don't like about Disney is they have recently been trying to adapt their cartoon princesses into live actions.
Oh, boy.
And I'm going to try and do this with the most calm attitude as possible. They have been changing the storylines of all of them. Almost all of them.
Almost all.
And
most of them.
Pissing me off to a point where I will just not watch it. So
as you can see, there's some very hardcore Disney fans out there.
Oh, yeah.
And you do not mess with the original.
Yes. No. And they changed so much about Little Mermaid. They changed so much about Mulan.
Oh, I didn't even watch that one. I boycotted that one.
Yeah, I'm still mad about that one.
The only good ones was Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast. Here's the thing. They kept Cinderella was like strict storyline, perfect. Beauty and the Beast, same storyline. They just added a couple things.
They added great
but they
things.
Never took anything away.
Yes.
What gets mad is what makes people mad is when you take things away from the original. You can add stuff in to help like emphasize or like add on to things, but keep the storyline.
And I thought Beauty and the Beast did an incredible job. That is another favorite movie of mine. I love that movie till I die. Great movie. I will just watch that because I want to. Like, I will just watch it randomly on a Tuesday night because I feel like it.
Yes.
I'm not even kidding you. I will just throw it on because I love that movie so much.
Cinderella's even good.
I know.
Like, that was like the first live action adaptation currently.
Yes. And from what...
Adaptation. Oh my God.
From what Snow White producers have led on is that they have completely
changed the
storyline to the point where there is no Prince Charming.
No, the whole thing that makes Snow White. Exactly. She doesn't need a man to kiss her. Well, okay, it's Snow White. I'm sorry. That's the story. That was the 1930s version.
And that is the original Disney movie.
They don't even use real dwarves. Because they don't want to offend anyone. But it's like, what about the dwarves who are actually dwarves? They're like, hey, what do you mean you don't actually want to use dwarves?
Right.
You know? You're actually offending
You're offending more people.
More than not adding dwarves into it.
Right. Because, like they said, they want to be inclusive. And what's wrong with inclusive of the dwarves? Like, there is nothing wrong with having dwarves in a movie. Like, that's great. Like, inclusion. Like, right?
They're like the main part of Snow White.
Yeah, you don't have Snow White.
It's Snow White and the Seven
Dwarfs. It's literally in the name.
Literally.
It's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's literally in the name.
And there's been many other adaptations to Snow White. And they have all been good too. Yeah. I mean, there's been like, I don't know what, there's many, but I just feel like for this one, it's just gotten so much hate just because they're intentionally deviating from the traditional storyline.
And people
and making a point of it. And it's like, no, don't mess with a good thing, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so moving on from that topic, I want to talk about the Rachel situation. She talked on multiple occasions about the movie and how she hated the storyline, she hated playing the character, she was raving about how bad the movie was, and I'm not sure if she got fired for the remake, but
she did. They like kicked her off, but then they brought her back. She's coming back.
Okay, so now they changed the storyline back to the way it usually should be, which is the original movie.
Good, because it got so much hate.
It got so much hate because of how much they released of about the movie, and she also talked about it multiple times, like, hey, there's not even dwarves, she doesn't need a man to help her.
And everyone's like, why would we even watch that?
No, exactly.
Like, there's no point.
Right.
What I thought was funny was there's this girl, she runs the comment section. She's like a conservative talk show host. Her name's Brett Cooper. Mm-hmm. She's like done work with Ben Shapiro and stuff. If you know, you know. If you don't, you know. But they to counteract this movie, they were doing like a version of this, and then they're kind of sticking to the traditional storyline. So I think there might be like 2 releases of Snow White next year. one, I guess now with the same similar storyline, because I guess this Disney one changed it, but we'll see. So,
ooh, yeah.
Didn't know Disney could bring so much controversy.
I know, it's literally just fantasy movies.
I know, but they got to be done well.
Yeah.
Mulan. Oh, it's fine. We talked about that one, released 2020, lost 150 million.
That's crazy.
Well, okay, you can't. Okay, Mulan, especially ones with like cultural, like reasoning and like storylines.
You can't change it.
You can't. No,
because they didn't even put the dragon in.
Exactly. No Mushu. He's Eddie Murphy.
He was the main character.
He was even more than Mulan. And then the bad guy. Okay, so they had like a witch instead of like the bad like whatever Shang Dynasty, whatever they were fighting, which is understandable because that's what China did back in that time.
Right.
But they didn't want to offend anyone.
And then they changed history.
Exactly.
And
changing history and making it a witch.
Yeah, I think they made it more offensive by changing history.
Yeah.
Than
instead of actually having history, because this is what happened. This didn't happen. So you're saying like this is better than this? You know? You can't change history. History happens. It happened.
Unless you have a time machine. But like still you can't.
You have to learn from it. Winston Churchill said that what did he say?
It was like
if you don't remember history, you're doomed to repeat it, you know?
Yeah, if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I get it. History has some like bad things that have happened.
And and we need to learn about it.
So we don't do it again.
Right.
And if we stop for teaching about it, things will happen again. And I guess it's kind of already starting too, because we don't learn much.
I don't want to go into the teaching subject, but I think
Mulan's a good teaching subject.
It's a good teaching subject because of how much they changed the movie, or changed the history of the movie, and changed history of the world to a witch, which is fantasy.
Exactly.
It's not real.
No.
And the fact
Mulan
that
was rooted in history.
Right. So that's probably why they made the original movie, is because to raise awareness about what happened and so that we don't do it again.
Exactly.
Period. Or not change it to a witch. And don't put Mushu in.
And dragons are highly cultural in Chinese and Japanese and
they're not
Asian
real.
culture.
If anything, you should include the dragon.
Exactly.
It's culture. They can't just take out culture. Like,
dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cow.
Like, literally, what the heck? Yeah. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I don't want to get mad today, so we're going to move on from Mulan. Strange World.
I didn't watch this one. I don't know much about this one.
I didn't watch this one either. But
it's an animated one.
I heard it was horrendous. It lost $147 million in 2022. I watched the trailer, and I hated it from the trailer. It's like one of those movies where it's like, oh, I'm just a farmer. I can't do adventurous things. You know? Like, I'm not talented. And he was just like, he's being a pick-me. And he's like, oh, I'm just a farmer. I can't do anything. I'm really stupid, and I can't handle anything. God, that pisses me off so much when Disney movies do that. And it was such a filler movie that no one needed.
No.
It was just like, no, Strange World. Tell me Strange World. It's like, it was just a filler. And it was just like, I feel like Disney, they're running out of ideas.
Yeah.
So their best idea...
They need to take a long hiatus and then come back with a bunch of good ideas.
Right?
Take as long as you need.
I know. Literally stop making movies because it's killing everybody.
The good movies you can watch over and over again. So we can watch those for now and then wait till you come back.
Why don't we just erase, like, the entirety of 2022 and 2023 Disney movies? Just erase it. Besides Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion's Kids Day.
There's a couple.
But, yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that one.
Lightyear, 2021.
I thought that movie was very unnecessary as well. Like, I thought...
It's another Strange World.
Yeah, it's a filler. And
it's
that's...
Chris Evans.
Okay, there's one good thing I will say about this movie is they...
Chris Evans.
Yes, but also, they added the LGBTQ thing correctly.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
No.
Okay.
But I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, they did it correctly in this movie.
They didn't push it, they just added it in.
They added it in, and I thought they did a really good job with the LGBTQ aspect, because the best friend had a girlfriend, and I thought they did a really good job of just incorporating that silently into the movie, because you don't need it to be in your face.
I agree.
I think, unless it's the story is about that. Like, that's great.
Like Heartstopper.
Right, which is a great story. I love that story. But also, you don't gotta push it in everyone's face.
No.
I don't think anyone likes that.
Mm-mm.
So I don't even think the LGBTQ community likes that at all. Like, I've heard multiple people talk
reviews.
about it. Yeah. So even they say, oh, I don't like that. So, like, take advice from your viewers, please, Disney. We are begging you. Anyway, so Lightyear I thought was a very filler movie, and I heard that there was, like, some theory that the actual Lightyear movie is a movie in Toy Story about the action figure. I don't know if that's true or not. But
I'm sorry, but who played Tim Allen as for the Lightyear in the original?
But yeah, I thought it was a good.
Yeah,
it's just a filler. It wasn't that good. Jungle Cruise.
Okay, I kind of liked this movie. It's another like Haunted Mansion one where they take a ride and make it. I mean, I can see why it kind of bombed. I mean, it's got Emily Blunt and it's got Dwayne Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had a great dynamic. And it was fun. It was a funny, lighthearted movie. I wouldn't say it's like Oscar worthy. I wouldn't say it was like you can watch it all the time, but you can watch it like I would say it's a good watch for like one time, and then just so you can say you've seen it, you know, and then relate it to the movie or the ride at Disneyland. You know,
the thing is like Jungle Cruise doesn't really have any. What's the word I'm looking for?
The ride.
The ride itself does not have any villains or like storyline. It's just like kind of like it's Jungle Cruise. Like it's not really
the jungle in itself is kind of the villain,
right?
Because you're like having to like withstand all these like harsh elements and stuff.
And hippos. See, like I hate to compare this, but Jumanji, I thought was a great movie because they took the jungle and made it the villain, which I think is what they should have done with Jungle Cruise because that is what Jungle Cruise is.
They actually had a male villain in it, you know.
I thought Jumanji did a good job with that, but it's not Jumanji, it's not a board game. So I just think
right.
Well, I know that Jumanji is I'm talking about the original. The original
not the newer
Jumanji.
One.
No.
You don't like that one?
No. I thought that was such a horrible adaptation.
Really?
The video game? No.
Oh, right.
I hate that.
Kevin Hart,
original
Rock.
The original board game.
The original one's the best.
Just way better. Yeah. Just my opinion.
Because it's a haunted board game. It's not a video game.
Right. No, the video game.
It's a board game.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes it more like sketchy. It's like an old relic. It's not like a modern day game.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about the original, to clarify. I'm talking about the original one.
The 1980. Yeah. 980.
I feel like
version.
I feel like Jungle Cruise should have been more towards that storyline because then I feel like it would be more like the ride. But still, I don't like the fantasy aspect of the Jungle Cruise. No, it just doesn't fit.
The fantasy is like Disney, because you can't have Disney without fantasy. But again, Disney's known for it, but the ride itself doesn't have fantasy to it.
Yeah, but moving on. Turning Red. Oh my god, I have mixed opinions on this one.
2022, 167 million.
Lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I have very mixed opinions on this movie for specific reasons. Okay, do you want to go first? I went first last time.
I don't really know what to say. I mean, like it was not terrible.
No,
it had its potential.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it again missed the mark
by a smidge.
Yeah.
But also, I wouldn't say it's better than Encanto.
No, Encanto
I think
slaps.
Encanto slaps. Knee slapper. Mm-hmm. But Turning Red, I thought was a notch down from Encanto.
Yeah.
Turning Red, in my opinion, I thought was a really good coming of age story. Mm. But there are some aspects of it that I don't like, and that are not like I wouldn't show it to my 5-year-old. If I had a 5-year-old kid, I would not show it to them. And I understand they were going for an older age group, but I feel like there are some things in there that should not be in there. If you know
Keep
what I
the
mean.
innocent, you know?
Yeah, I like the aspect of, like, the women, puberty thing. I don't even think that's necessary in a movie.
No, I get the coming of age, but that's like...
I don't think you need a movie about that.
No, there've been some that's been done, and then that's it.
Yeah, I just don't think... Because I like... I kind of understand where they're coming from. Like, they want the kids who are unsure of what's happening to them
to
be sure of it and make it into a panda. and oh yeah, my period is just like a big old panda. Like, see, that doesn't fit with me at all. Like, I feel like you can't.
It's directed to like middle schoolers, not the elementary kids who are mostly watching Disney.
Right. I don't.
That would scare them, honestly. At that age, if you watch that.
That's what I mean. And I'm
like,
sure.
I don't want to turn into a panda.
Right. And I'm sure parents will like kind of understand to a certain point, like, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't show my 5-year-old this movie.
You would actually believe not. They don't really.
But they have.
Yeah.
Parents
Back then,
are unaware.
people could trust people with Disney. They put your kid in front of Disney,
can't.
And then they could watch it, and you'd be fine. You won't even think twice about it. But now you actually have to censor and like watch it to make sure it's watchable for your kid, depending on what you want them to watch and not.
And especially for boys.
Yeah.
Like, I would not show this to even my middle school boy. Like, I wouldn't do
find
that.
any enjoyment of it.
No.
Disney movies are loved by, like, all, all ages,
and again,
all genders.
They are trying to push the inclusiveness. Yeah. And I don't
like it. And they're doing it wrong.
They're doing it completely wrong. And I understand that they want to, like, okay, yeah, this is puberty. This is what happens to you. But not to the point where it's, like, only towards specific age or specific gender. Or, like, it just doesn't work, and I think they should not have done that. But from a women's standpoint, I liked the movie if I was in their shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not if I was a boy, I would be like, ew, I hate this movie. Yeah. Right? So that's why I think that bombed. That's why I think it bombed. Is because it was only directed towards a specific age and a specific gender.
Yep.
And that's it. Anyway.
Tomorrowland 2015, 170 million. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I did.
Wait, tomorrow. No.
Maybe if I explain it, you'll remember. But basically, what happens is this girl who gets arrested finds this random pin in her bag. How wonderful and random that is.
Random.
She finds a pin, and it takes her to this land of the unknown. And this is also about a Disneyland. I don't know what you call it. Disneyland.
Land?
Yeah. Part of the park. Which is the, like, kind of like future movie. And,
George Clooney's in it.
Yeah. It basically takes you to this other world with future things, I guess. I don't know. And, there's, like, jetpacks and time travel and submarines and all that crazy stuff. And right as you touch the pin, it takes you there magically. But what's weird is that you're still in the normal world that you are in. So it's just like
future.
I don't even know how to explain this. Like, okay, I'll explain a specific scene. So she's in the car with her father, which is George Clooney, and she touches the pin, and she's in this field of wheat, I think. And she's still in the car moving, but she sees just wheat, and she's just sitting levitating in air because she's in the car. But she sees the Tomorrowland because she's touching the pin.
That's weird.
If that makes sense.
So it's almost like virtual reality, like she sees things,
it's a virtual
but she's still in reality.
Yes. So it's like, so she goes.
Hasn't that been done like over
a million
and over
times?
Again?
Yeah. So she goes to this giant field, and she walks all the way up to the island, and then she ends up in a pool of water at the end.
Like she fell into a pool.
Yeah, which is really stupid. But
again, you can see why I flopped.
Yeah. It's really not a good movie. I mean, there are some good aspects in it. Like, there's, like, problem solving, and there's strategy, and there's, like, oh, I gotta figure out this problem, how to get to this island. But it's just, like, it's not good. Anyway.
After all these movies, the only one, mind you, that actually managed to make the box office is...
And do good.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Only success for 2023.
And what's really funny is that it's all about Rocket.
Yeah.
It's literally
a raccoon.
A raccoon. See,
but the thing is, he pulls at people's heartstrings. People like Bradley Cooper. People like the raccoon, you know?
Yeah. Personally, if I were to pick any character on Guardians of the Galaxy, it would be Rocket. Because I love his character. He's hilarious. He has a story.
He has a tragic past, you know?
Yeah, it's really tragic. I cried like 3 times in that movie. I was devastated that entire movie. It was so sad.
But it's good. It makes you feel.
It's so good. I could rewatch that movie all the time. I love that movie. It's so good.
Casting's great.
And I think...
And it has a storyline.
The story was great because it went back to his roots to fix it. And, like, finish unfinished business, kind of.
Exactly.
And he has, like, this trauma of losing friends and family. And I think it was just a good way to end the Guardians of the Galaxy. Because it was, like...
It's a satisfying ending. You know?
Because he solved his problems. Because I feel like in the second and first one, it was all about Quill. Or it was all about Gamora.
Which is okay, because that was just coming off of, like, Avengers Endgame and stuff.
And I think Rocket did deserve a solo movie, because he deserves a solo movie. Like, just about him. And I think he's such a great character, and how they created his character. Oh, yeah, he was abused, and he was tested on, and I think that was such a great storyline.
Classic writing to actually make you fall in love, love a raccoon, you know?
Fall in love with a raccoon.
Fall in love with a raccoon.
Yeah, I know. It's just...
Well, literally, you do not like that, but you fall in love with him. He's like he's a good character.
Okay. Yeah. That movie just.
It's worth the watch.
It's so good. Anyway, so
last up, we have our upcoming movies and our predictions.
Yeah.
Take
Madam
this one.
Web. I don't like the idea of a women's Spider-Man. Like, that doesn't.
There's not like even Spider-Man in it, you know?
No, it's not even, I don't know. I didn't really watch the trailer. I kind of like skimmed over it.
Yeah, I did, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, I just feel like it's just kind of like a random filler that no one needs.
Yeah.
And it's just like, here we go again with another Strange World, another Wish.
Yeah.
Oh, back to Wish. I wanted to bring this up. Wish was supposed to be the celebration of 100 years. And I think the way they did it was such a horrible way to appreciate all the work they have done over 100 years. Like, I guess they did the visuals for the celebration.
They should have had a killer storyline.
But they had to make, if they were going to celebrate 100 years, they had to make it a great story. And make it, you know what they should have done? They should have made Guardians of the Galaxy the celebrating movie.
They
not
should have.
Wish.
No.
God. Anyway, I just have to say that.
Frozen 2.
I know! I loved Frozen 2. I loved that movie. It was good.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings.
Anyway.
It has, like, no storyline, honestly. But
it did. It did.
More than Wish, I'd say that.
Okay, yeah. Anyway. Madam Web.
Is this one Disney? Aquaman?
No.
Okay.
DC.
These are not Disney. Oh, okay. Next one, Inside Out 2.
Inside Out. I'm excited for this one.
I know. I have hopes, but I feel like they might be crushed. But, you know.
They leaked a part of the movie. There's new emotions. Anxiety, I think, is one of them. I can't remember the other ones.
Oh,
but I know...
Because Riley's getting older.
Right, and she's going to have anxiety.
Teenager.
Yeah, so I'm excited for it. I think...
It has potential.
I hope it's another tearjerker, because Inside Out, the first one...
It was a tearjerker. Bing Bong killed me.
Oh my god, that movie damaged me.
Mm.
It damaged me.
Then again, it's like... Why take a good thing and ruin it, you know? But I think for this story, you can develop it, you know? Because it has it has potential. There's so many emotions you can act on, and then it's definitely going to be another coming-of-age story, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm definitely going to go see it. Maybe not in theaters, because I'll cry. So I'll say it at my house, in my room in the dark. Anyway, Joker. I didn't see the original.
Part 2. I didn't either, but they say it was really good. And now, like, Lady Gaga's gonna be in it.
Ooh,
this one.
Okay, I'll watch it for that.
Harley Quinn. So. And then Beetlejuice 2.
Ooh, I don't know how I feel about that.
It's Johnny Depp.
Is Beetlejuice?
Mm-hmm. I think. I could be wrong.
I don't know about that.
But it's either the main guy's coming back, whatever his name, Michael Keaton. He's not dead. He's just old.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's old.
Yeah, but I don't think he's coming back. I think Johnny Depp's coming back, but
I'm okay with Johnny Depp. He's okay.
We'll see.
I feel like he needs a rebirth because of the
Amber Heard
case.
He does.
Oh my god, that was so funny. Was that last year?
Yeah.
It's a whole year ago.
No, that was 2021. It was 2021. 2 years ago.
2 years ago? That happened 2 years ago? That's crazy.
I think it. Yeah.
I feel like it just happened. That's not last year.
I think it was either 2 years ago or last year. Last of Aquaman and Lost Kingdom. I think this one might not be bad.
I don't really watch DC movies, so I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, Jason Momoa. But, you know.
I have mixed feelings about him.
I know, I do too. But
he was on SNL recently.
I think it will be okay. But we'll see, you know?
Personally, I'm not going to watch it.
I know. I probably won't either. I don't think any of them are worth going to the expensive theater to watch. No. You know? Wait till they come out on streaming. Yeah. Or illegally stream them. But
I would watch Beetlejuice too, maybe.
Yeah. We'll see.
God, this is a good one.
You know, come on, Disney, get your act together.
Jesus Christ, they need to wake up. Wake up, Disney, because we're all begging for therapy because of you.
Yes.
So now, let's get some good ideas, shall we?
Well, that's all for this week's podcast.
Thank you for tuning in.
Tune in next week for our upcoming podcast on To Be Determined.
Yeah, if we ever get there. This has been Juliette D'Eliseo
and Leah Ertel
reporting for The Sage.